Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Breakthrough Leadership. I'm Matt DeYoung.
And I'm Greg Yates. We're here today to talk about unlocking your purpose, living with passion, and becoming the leader you were created to be.
Today is episode 27 in our Breakthrough Leadership video blog here, and we're going to talk about, or ask this question, is obsession too strong a word? And we're going to answer that question today, I hope.
I hope so.
Yeah, so this is a strong word, Greg, obsession, and probably when people hear the word, they think one thing or another. They think good obsessions, or they think bad obsessions. Right. But I think it's invigorating, Greg, when you're on a team with somebody who's really driven and obsessed about the right things, but it's also demoralizing when you're on a team and there's one or more people obsessed about the wrong things. What's your experience with this word obsession? Why is it important to you?
You're exactly right. People do polarize around that word. It's a word that defines much of my life, because whatever I'm doing, I want to be obsessed about it. It's a conscious choice. If it's not important enough for me to be obsessed about, I don't really have time for it. But it's kind of a mixed situation, because I've had to realize, like you just pointed out, there's good obsession and there's bad obsession. I mean, we've all been obsessed about something before that took us off track. That's not what we're talking about. But even in my younger business, I remember things like, for example, interviewing people, and I'm looking at this list of questions, and the standard list of questions, and I'm like, I don't really care what your hobbies are. I don't really want to know that much about you. Can you help us? Can you do this job? Because I'm passionate about, filling the empty seat at the table we need somebody in that role. They got to be strong. They got to be equipped to do the job. And in that way, I was passionate, but I also didn't have any room for developing the relationships necessary that I've learned are totally necessary for true success in the business.
Right, it's so good. So you're kind of setting up the idea that we have to learn what each other's obsessions are. That's only going to come out of relationship. And there might be people who are watching this a little more logical, going like you, do we have to do this?
I'm with you.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you said, we're all obsessed about everything. Actually, there's a couple points we want to go over today, and I think it'll really help people, especially the more logical ones. We'll have a little stepwise system for you. And this has really helped me to identify, we talked about this, which is everyone has an obsession. Yeah. Is that true?
Well, I think it's true. I mean, the definition of obsession fascinates me. I got it written down here. Obsession is a persistent, sometimes disturbing preoccupation with an idea or feeling that results in strong motivation. Let me say it again. Obsession is a persistent, sometimes disturbing preoccupation with an idea or a feeling that results in strong motivation. Well, you said it, everybody has an obsession, but aren't we all leaders who want to see our teams motivated?
That's an obsession.
That's an obsession, right? I've never seen a leader who didn't want to see their team motivated. But true motivation is the internally generated obsession which creates persistence, preoccupation, and passion. That was part of the definition, right? Preoccupation. Well, if people are going to be preoccupied, I'd like to know what they're preoccupied about, and I'd also like to guide that preoccupation, right? So everyone's got an obsession. What are we going to do about that, and how does that benefit us as a team leader?
And just to make this practical, I mean, one of the experiences I've had is working with someone who is obsessed about statistics and how that could solve problems. And can I tell you, whether it was real estate in Chicago or a big data that helped revolutionize an e-commerce industry, truly, he was the only one that survived a severe consolidation and bankruptcy industry-wide. And it's because he had this obsession. And it was a joy to work with him as he obsessed about that. That's so cool. So everyone has one.
But what if he was obsessing about things that were completely off track, completely not in line with the purpose that he was even there for, that you were in?
It sounds better if I shared the story where that never happened. That did happen, actually.
Exactly. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. But everyone has an obsession, and hopefully it's not disturbing. And then the second thing is with obsessions, it defines our performance. That is really a breakthrough concept, in my opinion. Obsession defines performance.
Well, let's face it, when I'm on a mission, it wakes me up early and it keeps me up late. It disturbs things, but it's all positive energy.
Yeah.
I think about it all the time. I fantasize about it. I'm passionate about it. That's the type of obsession and preoccupation that I want to be, because obsession does create performance. Sometimes it's good performance, sometimes bad. As a leader, we've got to know that it's going to create performance, and we've got to use obsession as a part of our leadership.
That's a very practical tactic anyone could use to say, is this obsession that someone has, or even I have, is it holding me back or is it propelling me forward?
Awesome.
That's great.
Yes.
Everyone has an obsession. That's what you can use. And obsession defines our performance. And this one is, this is a big one for us. Yeah. Obsession defines beliefs. Can you unpack that in the time that we have?
I don't think so. Core level beliefs empower our obsessions, good or bad. Yeah, this isn't going to be that we always would say these are beliefs, but if we look at our obsessions, I think we're going to uncover some true beliefs. I think you got to watch a lot more of the discussions we have about belief to get that, but obsessions absolutely define your beliefs.
Yeah, that's awesome. I wish we could talk more about that, but let's move on to the next point. Obsession takes precedent. Obsession takes precedent. We really got to explain this, not to use a big word unnecessarily, but it's important the way that we phrase that, I think.
Yeah, I think it is. Accidental obsession can easily be in conflict with the mission, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. And it's important for us, I think this is a pivotal point for us to understand, that obsession takes precedent, because obsession is going to take precedent over the mission if they're in conflict. It's why it's so critical to define and engage your team in a shared obsession. Because then any obsession that would attempt to take precedent over this shared obsession can be identified quickly and discarded.
Mm-hmm. I think of Chick-fil-A when you talk about this precedent, because there's Chick-fil-A, you walk in, their precedent, the obsession is service. And there's not one person who walks in there that I've ever talked to said that always comes through. They're always obsessed with a great customer experience. And it's binding. A precedent means to really bind something together.
I love that.
So good.
Well, I got to say it, Matt. We asked the question, is obsession the right word? I got to say, obsession is exactly the right word.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought it up. And hopefully people are thinking about it in a different way. And if they're watching right now going, you've opened up my brain a little bit on this obsession concept, and they're wondering whether they have obsessions in their organization, in their teams, and even in their leadership that might be helping or hurting them, what's a challenge that you could give to them today?
Oh, I challenge you to uncover the obsessions that are preoccupying your team. Knowing what preoccupies them will also show you what motivates them, and it's essential to your leadership breakthrough.
That's good, Greg. And I think on that note, you've kind of kicked off a conversation here that the audience should be engaging in. You should be engaging in this conversation, whether you're watching on our blog or on our YouTube channel. What if you were to just comment right now, give us some feedback and let us know what are some current common obsessions that you have on your team, and what are those obsessions that you want them to be on your team? Let us know, give us your feedback right now.
Yeah, and don't forget, join us on our website, morethanbreakthrough.com, for some other great information, great opportunities to interface with people just like you.
Yeah, that'll be good. And when you're there, if you're not already on our email list, subscribe to our email list, and that enables Greg and I to send you leadership resources you can't find anywhere else.
You can do this, folks. You can do this. You can use these simple traction items to gain traction in your journey to breakthrough.